The topic I'll be discussing is the historical significance of William Bradford and the text of Plymouth Plantation. This is important in early American literature and gives us insight into the Pilgrims' experiences in the New World. Bradford was the governor of Plymouth Colony and wrote about the challenges and faith of the Pilgrims, showing not just the way we understand their history but also the origins of American values. One of the most interesting parts of Bradford's account is the Pilgrims' strong sense of purpose. They didn't come into America for wealth or adventure, but for religious freedom and a mission that they believed was given to them by God. At the time, Europe was full of religious conflicts, and the Pilgrims were at risk of persecution. Their story reflects a larger desire for religious freedom, and that later became a key part of American culture. The signing of the Mayflower Compact is important, as Bradford describes how the settlers made an agreement to form what they called a civil body politic, essentially promising to work together and govern themselves. This moment was crucial because it laid the groundwork for self-governance and democracy, which would become a central idea for the American society. Bradford's writing is deeply religious, and that was key to understanding the Pilgrims' actions. They believed that God was guiding them, interpreting both their successes and their struggles as signs of His will. They faced extreme difficulties like disease, hunger, and harsh weather. This faith helped them stay strong, and Bradford believed that their hardships were tests from God that they had to get through. Their belief in God's plan also influenced how they viewed their interactions with others, specifically the Native Americans. For example, when two of them helped the Pilgrims by speaking English and teaching them survival skills, Bradford saw it as a part of God's design. This belief helped shape the Pilgrims' worldview and later influenced how the Americans later saw their role as a chosen nation. While the text is often associated with religious freedom and democracy, Bradford is also very honest about the extreme difficulties the Pilgrims faced. Almost half of them died during the first winter due to disease and lack of shelter. Despite these hardships, the Pilgrims' sense of community and determination was key to their survival. He contrasts the selflessness of the Pilgrims with the crew of the Mayflower. The Pilgrims took care of each other even during illness. The ship's crew initially refused to help their sick members. This difference highlights the Pilgrims' values of community and their unity. Bradford's description of the Pilgrims' interactions with the Native Americans is also significant, as the peace treaty with the Wampanoag leader and the help they received from Squanto were crucial for the Pilgrims' survival. However, it's important to recognize that this peaceful relationship was just the beginning of something much more complicated and often violent between the settlers and the native people. The early cooperation contrasts with what would later happen, which was a pattern of colonization and displacement of Native Americans. While the Pilgrims depended on Native Americans for survival at first, their relationship with indigenous people would change over time. Plymouth Plantation is more than just history of the Pilgrims. It reflects the struggles that shaped American society along with its values, and highlights the themes of religious freedom and community. And this text helps us understand how these early people lived and how they contributed to the values and the challenges that define the United States.